Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a gold Reinhardt on console. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, events we have going on, all that good stuff. Okay, let's see how our Reinhardt on Gibraltar, which is far from my favorite. This is definitely a Winston map, maybe a ball map, not a Reinhardt map, but that's okay. They're playing Reinhardt as well. And they're playing Reinhardt in the open. This is painful to watch. Okay. Yes, this is another console one. I saw that we had Meme Lord Martin here, who we had just seen in our chat and was our ball player the last one, decided to grab his post. Please shield, please shield, please shield, please shield. Don't just give them your shield. Go take your corner again. Okay, hide behind the card a little more. I would actually have liked you to post and use this more, and then when you're not using that, I'd like you to be behind the cart more, so that you don't have to give away as much shield. Okay. I don't necessarily want you here. You're out here swinging where they can all hit you, but you're swinging at a range that you're not going to hit any of them. Ugh. Better. Fine. Nope, too far away. Don't do it. Why did you think this was a thing? So that's a real swing, but like you didn't have the health for that. You were doing a bunch of swinging in the open. Okay. You're giving away too much in the open. Like when you've been in front of the cart there, you generally want your pushes to be a little less than that unless it's full real pushes from your team. And if it's full real pushes from your team, you shouldn't have a bunch of opponents behind you between you and your team. You're just giving away shield, doing some Rhine dance. Oh, the Rhine dance. No. Ooh, no. Okay, so the Rhine dance is when you just stand there in the open, trying to sort of act as a firing platform with your shield up, thinking maybe my team will stand behind my shield and shoot at them. And you're like, well, I don't want to push forward. I don't want to go back. I'm just going to dance here with my shield up. That's never something we really want to do as Reinhardt. We go, hey, let me advance to cover. Hey, I'm not ready to advance to cover. I'll wait here then. I don't need to just stand here with my shield up. If my team wants to shoot at them, they can use their own corner peeking to shoot at them. My shield is specifically a tool for me to use to get from one corner to another corner, to get from one set of cover to another set of cover, to get from a set of cover to the enemies that I would like to swing at. It is not a tool to just exist in open space like this. And then your Lucio pops the beat when you're like a million miles away from them, and then you decide that you're going to go for the pin, which isn't great. And then, you do hit the shatter around the shield over here, which is cool. But is anyone besides you and no, really just your diva going to be able to follow up on this? And the answer is probably not to a significant degree. So you've used shatter and beat for this fight so far, and I don't think your payoffs are going to be very good, Big. You've used shatter, beat, diva boosters, and amp to get here almost certainly. And congrats, you got off a fire strike. Congrats. You used 2 ults to rotate. Don't do it. I know you want a fire strike, you don't have it. That was better. Good block. You're gonna swing. You have damage boost. It's fine. You're gonna cancel this swing into a shield. It was fine to start, but cancel it into a shield. Cancel it into a shield. Good. The brick. Just glue yourself to the brick. You crush brick. Glue yourself to her. Mm-hmm. Throws room for a fire strike cancel, but that's okay. Uh-huh. Good. If you want to play Take on Ranked, what do you think is a good hero pool to learn? If you're actually willing to learn it right, I think main tank, because there are certainly more off-tank players than main tank players, and tanks will get you the fastest. I mean, you've said that you're going to play tank. So I would say learn a main tank pool and then add one flexible off-tank to it. So I would probably go, hey, learn yourself Reinhardt, learn yourself Winston. I mean, I would learn the main tank pool. Reinhardt, Winston, Orisa, and Ball will certainly be more interesting than Orisa. This would be effectively your main tank pool, and then you add an off tank to it. You could justify Roadhog as that off tank. Diva is the most flexible, but she's probably also the hardest to really learn. Um, so maybe you don't want to learn her. Roadhog is actually a swap that you'll see from main tank sometimes in situations as sort of an anti-dive thing where your team ends up playing like Diva Roadhog, things like that, specifically to counter a hard dive team. So you could justify Roadhog sort of in your main tank pool, but really also as a tank that you can play when you happen to land with another main tank, though he's not great. He's probably the least flexible of the off tanks to go with the main tanks. Zarya is pretty easy to learn. Let me think for a second. Certainly easier than Diva, probably easier than Roadhog to learn. Wouldn't really spend time on Sigma. Yeah, build yourself a standard main tank hero pool. That's what I'd say. Okay. Some useful info. My controller bugs, so sometimes it auto cancels my swing for shield, sadly. Okay. Okay. Things I learned, Ball is a main tank. How is Ball a main tank? Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, Game Buster. How is Ball a main tank? So Ball is a main tank for a couple reasons. The strongest thing you'll notice is if we go back to listing our main tank, since that's what we've turned this stream into, Reinhardt, Winston, Ball, and Orisa. Well, Game Buster, I'm sure what you're looking at this and going, Reinhardt has a shield, main tank, check. Winston has a bubble, even though it gets blown up, main tank, check. Orisa has a shield. Check. Ball doesn't have a shield. Ball doesn't have a barrier, so Ball can't be a main tank. Well, you're wrong. That's not actually what defines main tanks. What actually defines main tanks is they are the tanks with strong initiation abilities. They're the tanks that are good at taking space. Off tanks are better at enforcing space. Off tanks can peel better. They're generally more damage threatening, though that's not critical. They can hold space quite well. DPS are also pretty good at holding space, but off tanks aren't terribly good at taking space. Roadhog is not a hero that's terribly good, for example, at walking forward and taking neutral or contested space from the opponents without just feeding a bunch of ult charge. He's not terribly good at that. He can go flank and do some stuff, but that's not him really taking contested space. That's him, sneaking his way in, etc. These tanks all have the ability to go take neutral space, take contested space to push into the opponents. They can explosively push in, and that your initiation tanks are really your main tanks. And then your off tanks are the ones that support that, help hold the space, help enforce the space, however you want to think about it. Reinhardt has his shield and the W button. Winston has a jump pack and a bubble. And those help aggressively take the space and not immediately get punished for aggressively taking the space. Though will get punished pretty quickly. Though he'll also do a lot of, in reality, Winston will do a lot of sneaking up the angles. That's what Winston is going to do. Ball can, of course, swing in. Yeah, Ball can swing in. He can aggressively go take that space. And he can stay in a little bit with his adaptive shield and be perfectly fine, and his adaptive shield does not feed ult charge. So that's actually his barrier equivalent. It's not feeding ult charge when you're hurting his adaptive shield, but again, it's not the barrier that makes them a main tank. You could absolutely design a main tank without a barrier because it's about their initiation burst power. It's not about them having a barrier. And then Orisa, no question there. Her initiation is actually throwing down a fresh shield and halting. That's what her initiation is. Okay. Do you generally want to avoid jumping don't you generally want to avoid jumping before Shatter anyways, because Shatter only activates when you're at the ground? Yes, but people are getting more complicated with the new Shatter tech in terms of the bunny hopping, so usually no, but what ends up happening is if you use the bunny hop tech with Reinhardt, you can go, hey, I sort of do a little bounce with my shatter, and I can change the direction. I can change both where I'm shattering from and the direction, like that way versus that way that my shatter is going. And that can be confusing enough, that can throw people off enough, that can catch places that people weren't defending well enough that it can sometimes be worth using. The truth about shatter is those big team-wide shatters, you don't get very many of them per match, and if you're going to get multiple of them in a match, you have to do them different ways. You might get one off of a bunny hop. You might get one by being face to face with the other Reinhardt, where they're just too close to react because you're right up in their face, so they literally can't block the shatter. You might get another one by going, hey, the team is advancing through here, the opposing team, and you were actually waiting right here behind a corner, and you shatter in that way to get them. But you can't do this a bunch of times. It gets predicted. You can't do this a bunch of times because the other Reinhardt adapts and starts realizing, oh, I need to play at maximum swing range against you, so that's not going to work. You can't do this a bunch of times because, hey, they get more reaction time against it. So you see how you need to vary the types of shatters that you're throwing? Anyway, I'm going on a tangent here, but the reason that you're seeing more jump shatters now than you used to is because people are trying to do the bunny hop. Okay. I like Sigma. Downvote. Thanks, Becky. Thanks. I wasn't saying Sigma was bad. I was saying Sigma isn't a main tank. Okay. I hope to see more non-shield main tanks in Overwatch 2. Though who knows if there will be more. That makes sense. Understood about the varied types of shatter. Thanks for the explanation. Because Ryan needs 2 fire strikes because 1 isn't enough. Oh, and the way that they used them in the trailer was so bad. He's just walking through the open, double fire striking. Like, excuse me? What? What? Okay. So against Reaper, you actually do want to shield cancel more. So here we are. Boom. You've hit Reaper. I would have preferred that you'd swung your screen so that you hit Reaper earlier in your swing, and I know this is harder on console. I'd have preferred that you'd swung your screen a little so that you hit the Reaper earlier, and as soon as you do damage to this Reaper, I want you to cancel into shield. I don't like that your shield isn't up right now. Reaper is a faster rate of fire than you have rate of swings, so you can block some of his shots between your swings. You see what I'm saying here? As soon as you've done damage with a swing, your shield should be up. Shield should be up. Is that going to slow your movement down a little bit? Yeah. Was he going to get out from your movement being slowed? No. No, he was not. So you could have potentially taken one less shot here. You potentially could have also put your shield up between those. Okay, there you go. Well, especially on that last one, where you're really close to him. He's not getting away because you're slowing yourself down, your movement down. You're not slowing your swing speed down. You're slowing your movement down a little bit by shield weaving. Ouch. Yeah, Nordstrom. I know. Nordstorm, excuse me. You're not wrong. At one point, they had a dev server, they had a dev PTR. They told us that was for Diamond Plus developers only, and that made me so happy. But we'll see. We'll see. I suspect that doesn't exist anymore. Fine. Why? Why would you pin this? Don't pin this. So what you wanted to do here is you wanted to shatter, and then you wanted to swing through this brig, and then you wanted to fire strike through this brig in Sigma. That was both going to get you an elimination and get maximum damage. It's actually pretty rare that you want to pin, especially pin a non-tank hero from a shatter, and it's almost never the first thing you want to do after you shatter. If you're trying to get maximum impact out of your shatters, what I just described would have actually gotten you an elimination, which is a big deal. Now, if you get an elimination on this brig, it will be an elimination that they have the opportunity to cancel. They have the opportunity to hit you with a rock, to stun you, to shoot you, to eliminate you before you put her into a wall. And it'll put Like it's not what we want. It's not. Your best shatter follow-ups are going to be, hey, I shatter and then I look to hit multiple swings, hit swing and cleaves through people, or I swing and then fire strike cleave people. This should have been a shatter, swing, crouch, fire strike. If you shatter, swing, crouch, fire strike, you'll get both of these guys. You might have even been able to aim one to get all three of these, but that's a bit dicey. Okay. You could have been eliminated there. And now your positioning isn't as good as it was before. Why are you fire striking? With 158 HP, your diva will take care of that guy for you. Okay. The guy who used with the hammer who uses his shield to get into hammer range is longer though. True, true. Well, I think it's just no longer true Game Buster because it was easier at the beginning of the game's life cycle to get into higher ranks. The player base has gotten better, and yeah, the devs aren't spending all of their time playing, and the devs are probably a little more burned out on playing too. It's been years, so I doubt that as many of them are in Diamond or above now as were early in the game's life cycle, because the player base got better, and it's less likely that they kept up. And there's also less new players at this point in the cycle, and less new players means less people for you relative to them to be ahead of, which matters when your rank distribution is percentage of playing population. Why are you fire striking? Supports of so many Reinhardts. Yeah? Okay. We can go for some shield canceling here too. This div is not getting away from you. Shield. You already hit her. Now you'd shield because you can't swing again yet. Okay. Shield. No. You can cancel as soon as you've done damage. You can cancel these into shield. You could already be shielding. She's not going to get away from you in here. That's not melee? What's not melee? Oh, that's not me? Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I did go to the wrong run. Here you are. This happens. Minor detail. Minor detail. Okay. Okay. Why are you swinging? Like, okay, you're just deciding you're gonna be eliminated. Fine. I don't particularly like that charge. I don't think that was particularly high probability. Oh, so we're gonna close range fire strike. Yeah, that was the play here. I think that's true, Nordstrom. Though I think there were a lot of newbies over the weekend. I don't know if they were doing a free-to-play weekend or what. Can we stop charging like this? Here we are. Okay, I guess this wasn't so bad. Yeah, it was. It was this bad. It was that bad. Why? Sorry. I was thinking surely these must be your teammates, but they're not your teammates. These are the opponents. What is this? What is this? What? You gave up perfectly viable positioning over here to charge in to give the opponents a perfect concave against you. Like this is the definition of the charge that we. Oh my goodness! You can't do this. You can't do this. No. Instead, we go, hey, I wait for my team with cover. We have 6. Now we're going to push up. I'm going to push up to this cover. I'm going to push up to the brig and swing at her. Okay, I've taken out the brig. Now I'll push up to this and swing it. Oh, the Rhine's going to come bother me? Okay, maybe I'll fight the Rhine. Like, that's what we do. We don't charge in like this. That was a feat. That was the featiest of feats. Okay, exactly. Nardstorm said it perfectly. Fine. I know Helix, but it's a gold console game, so I'm not shocked that everyone's on the floor. And we saw the opposing team rolled out with Reinhardt, and we saw their rollout on Reinhardt involved everyone standing right here. Not holding here, not holding here, not holding here, but like holding here in the open. So we knew what we were getting. Okay, are you using the card as cover or not? If you're using the card as cover, use the card as cover. If you're not using the card as cover, go forward and take a little more space to hold. You can go hold this space and make it so they have to push past you to get to the cart so that the cart gets stopped. It's very rare as Reinhardt that you just want to play like in front of the cart like you were, just a little in front of it. You go take space in front of it, or you use the cart itself as cover, whether that's from behind it or the side of it. Just bash, which means you have an easier shatter. Okay. Oh, we're double support ulting. Okay. Fine. I don't think there's enough Qs, guys. I don't think there's enough Qs. You walked into that fight like I'm going to Q, and therefore you took a bad Q. That was not a good Q. So yeah. I don't really like that Fire Strike because you don't know that Sigma had two options. He could have rocked you or he could have shifted. Like, he would have had to simultaneously rock to your Fire Strike, but that would have worked if that had happened to be what he was going to do, which is much more reasonable for him than you. Or he could have shifted and just eaten the Fire Strike. Like, I don't like that Fire Strike. Not that that would have been an amazing shift, but still. I'd prefer that you walk at them with this Valken swing. Okay, shield. You could be shielding. You could be shielding. Yeah. Okay, next swing will do both. Oh. Mechanical issue, no big deal. Ooh, I like it. Off-angling Rhine. Okay. Okay. No, what are you doing? Just a shield hop? That's not the play. Enemy turret ahead. Keep backing up. Keep backing up. The hop doesn't help unless you drop your shield for a fraction to get full speed before you hop. Tuck behind the corner. Tuck behind the corner. Why are you still here? You needed to tuck behind this immediately. Immediately. Hey Jason, you did catch me live again. You just watched my Mercy Guild console guide and learned a lot. Excellent, excellent. YouTube actually took that one down for being too sexually explicit for a couple hours there. The robots took over. Had to get that appeal. Okay, we're gonna push up. Okay, don't dance, don't dance. Do you want the corner or don't you? This is good, this is good. Don't push further, don't push further. No. You pushed a little too far. And now you're getting pinned. You really wanted to be on this corner where he literally couldn't pin you. Your hammer still swings out there. You want to be like here where he can't pin you. It's very hard for that pin to stick if you're here and swinging, but you're still getting value and his backline can't see you. You don't want to push out and swing unless you're getting giant cleaves by doing so. Fine. I have no problem with that fire strike. You knew that he didn't have pin and no one was going to be able to shoot you during it. I have problems with that fire strike. You have no health, and people can shoot you. And if you just shield, the situation was going to get better because you have a Valking Mercy healing. But heck.
60 seconds remaining.
Might have to move to another platform, go take your corner, your supports can push payload. Temporal has said in the past that he won't go to Twitch. I don't necessarily have a greater issue with Twitch than YouTube. I think YouTube made more sense just from an audience standpoint and for how my content works. I think it makes more sense on YouTube than it does on Twitch, but that is not me saying I absolutely would never consider Twitch. But once you've done one, you are sort of locked into, they do have some exclusivity stuff when it comes to their streaming. I'm sure they would like to make that true for some of their upload stuff in general, but they do some exclusive stuff, Twitch specifically, that is, when it comes to streaming. So, yeah, I just don't think that makes a ton of sense. If the policies get bad, better in one place or worse than the other, moving isn't something that I would be strictly against, but you only bring some of your audience with you anytime you move, so it would take a pretty big thing. But I'm always willing to run cost-benefit analysis on that kind of thing. You can subscribe to my Twitch. Well, you can follow my Twitch channel. I don't think you can subscribe to it right now.
30 seconds remaining.
No, you don't need this pin. Use your shield to advance, not the pin. Now their Reinhardt knows you don't have pin. Oh, look, their Reinhardt knows you don't have pin, and you walked into a place where it's very hard to avoid a pin. I love it when my points get illustrated. Good. I still... whatever.
Oh, let's break it.
That fire strike wouldn't have finished him. It's reasonable that you thought it would have, sort of. Not really.
Heroes never die.
Okay. W, not shift to take space. This message is brought to you by supports. Okay, so definitely seen some things that we can work on, and that's fine. I mean, we've seen some fire strike issues. We've seen a little bit of Rhine dancing. We've seen using shift. Usually you can use shift right out of spawn to return to a fight, but you want to be careful about letting the other Reinhardt see you use shift for movement. Because if there's a Rhine on the other team and it sees you use shift for movement, that is opening you up to getting punished. And that is what happened there. That is what happened. Even though it was your diva that ended up getting pinned, not you, between the cart there, that's an example. And then similarly, when you went for that pin, probably against the Brig, and maybe you thought you were going to do it, that was a kind of long-range pin, the Reinhardt saw, oh, he's going to be stuck when his unwind animation, let me shatter his team, etc. So you get punished for that type of thing. Those are just a couple things that we've talked about. We've also talked a little bit about shield weaving. Obviously, that's probably 4 different topics I gave you. We won't stick with that in the end. We will either narrow or change our topics as we see the second round here. Oh, and we're doing low ground holds too. Can we not?
1. Attackers
So
in
you're
view.
gonna have to tell me at gold what happens, but if you hold up here, will your team hold up here? Because you don't actually need a stop here. You don't need a stop here on this map. You need a stop here on this map. On this map, this is so much stronger of a stop that getting your stop here is generally worth more than trying to get 2 stops, because this stop is so much stronger and so much harder to break. You can do a stop here. I don't mind that if you do the stop here, but if you do, if you actually want to commit to a stop here, please use your cover. Please use your cover and enforce your stop here, and you should still have your backline up here, but you can't control them. Anyway, if your team won't play up here if you do, which is where I'd prefer you play, and no, I'm not saying then drop and fight the cart here. I don't care about this. This is the rare situation where you just go, I guess I'll just be a firing platform, because you're not looking to drop and fight this cart. You're looking to just let your team soften them up. And if your team gets you a huge lead, then yes, you drop and take the fight. If they don't, so be it. You retreat, you go back here, and you're ready to take your fight here. But if you are determined, hey, my team's going to do this regardless, please play around your corner. Please play this corner. This can be a very strong hold. It's rare, but it can be done.
Get behind me.
Got it, Levy. Thanks for the insight. Yeah, just because the other Reinhardt did this doesn't make it a good idea. Shield, shield, shield. Good. But please don't stand here. Please don't stand here. You're Rhine dancing. You're Rhine dancing. You're thinking about advancing, but you're Rhine dancing. If you want to advance and clean them up because you went ahead, I'm okay with that. But don't Rhine dance. That's a fine fire strike.
My power.
No counterpin? But that was from so far away. I'm disappointed you didn't see that coming. And that's way in his favor. He gets the ult charge, Andy, as the closer spawn. Unfortunate.
I am on fire!
This is not over.
Someone better get a fiery, because I'm on a roll!
I'd have been okay with that. You hold from right room if you're going from the spawn camp, and it would be fine. I just don't know that his team would be in on it. Okay, this isn't great. It would have been better to be like, hey, I'm going to use my charge here to get back, not here. Because now, A, he'll potentially see you show up having used your charge. B, instead of your charge being back on off cooldown now or 2 seconds from now, it's 10 seconds from now. And yeah. You gonna get crushed from the high ground? Okay. Corner, corner. You don't need this. Valk's over. You don't need this. If you're gonna push them, so be it. Actually push them. If you're gonna push them, actually push them. Don't just stand there with your shield up. No, no. We can walk forward and swing at Lucio, or we can go back to here. Those are options. This existing thing is not. No. 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 No! Why are you swinging at the monkey from here rather than here? You swing at the monkey just as good from over here, but you have cover against their backline.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt.
Live for this.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Less fine, but mechanical, so I won't blame you. Or maybe map knowledge, but... Ooh. Yeah.
This is not your time.
I don't mind. The pin that you did we're trying for was a reasonable pin if you'd been able to aim it better, so I'm gonna be okay with you then not having it there.
Wait for me.
Again, you do your pin back on your Rhine pathing through here. You walk out here and you do your pin and you swing it back through here and you end up hitting this wall and then you walk the rest of the way, or you walk the rest of the way. Not sure what that bar strike was about. Okay, are you advancing on them? You have a Valk going. I'd advance on them.
Going.
No. Walk on the Moira. The Echo's annoying, but you have the Mercy. Go. So you're just gonna waste Valk. Good. Wait. Yes. Good.
Double.
Very well noted. I never thought of that. No problem.
60 seconds.
You don't have to learn as much spawn pathing as, say, Lucio does, but you do need to learn spawn pathing.
Don't worry, my friends.
You have no
I
health.
am your shield.
Please tuck in here, go get the Mega, and while your shield's regenerating, you'll get the Mega, and then you'll come back and decide, I'm going to push up to that, or I'm going to fall back to here. But your team's not going to catch up on you on healing, so you need to get the Mega. Oh yeah, the soldier healing. I love it.
Area destroyed.
Don't do it. Good. Your shield's back. You can shield and go get the Mega. The Mega. Okay, you're gonna walk back to your team to get healed?
30 seconds remaining.
Lucio can't heal you up quick enough. You're not robbing him of healing by getting the Mega. Oh, it hurts. And now you're out here potentially trading damage. Oh. You're gonna shatter as soon as that's over. Shatter. Why are the Sim and the... Well, now it doesn't matter, but why were the Sim and the Winston not floored on the ground? Why are the Lucio and the Moira not floored on the ground?
10 seconds remaining.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Lucio.
Fine. Yep. I'd have stuck to the Moira, not the Echo. The Moira was 1. Please don't get pinned. Please look where the Reinhardt is. You need to make a mental sticky of where he is a little harder, or a mental flag.
Heroes never die.
Okay. You gonna shatter?
Hammer down.
Little worried with how close this Lucio is. You're gonna get booped. Excuse me? You didn't have it. Okay. Okay.
Victory.
Things we could work on. First thing will be very easy. It'll be your charge pathing back from spawn. I would like you to use your charge early in your rotations back from spawn, and I would like you to use them when the other opponent is unlikely to see that you used them, when your opponents aren't going to know that you then don't have it. Charges that the opposing team now knows you don't have charge, especially if there's another Reinhardt on the other team, are dangerous. They're dangerous. You can't just charge from movement if after charging for movement, you're going to have a serious vulnerability window by not having charge, and you're doing some of that. So be more aware. That doesn't mean you can't do in-combat charges. In-combat charges are a real thing. You can absolutely do some in-combat charges, but you do your charge backs too late, and then some of your in-combat charges they're effectively in combat charges that you're doing for movement, like into the back of the payload, which we saw a couple times, and those are more dangerous than I think you realize. This should be an easy change. If you have questions, absolutely let me know, but this should be an easy change. You just change when you're hitting your charges on your way back, and you sort of remove the charge from the cart situation. There's a couple situations where you go, hey, the payoff is worth it. I'm going to charge over here and then shatter. I think you might have even done one of those that you could argue was justifiable, and I don't necessarily mind that, but on the risk reward benefit, you need to recalibrate that back quite a bit. So that's going to be the first thing that we're going to work on. And that should be pretty easy. The second thing that we're going to work on is going to be your dancing. You do too much of this dance thing. You do too much of the standing in the open thing here. Remember, we can use our cart as part of our cover. If we're in front of the cart, we should go take a new corner. We shouldn't just stand in front of the cart with our shield up. If we're using the cart as cover, that's good. If we're using a wall as cover, that's good. We should not just stand pretending this cart isn't here. We should not just stand here and shield. Even if the card is here, we shouldn't just stand here and shield. Like, that's not a thing that we do. Our shield is to take us to enemies that we want to swing at, or to get us to new cover, or to get us back to old cover, or to get us back from an enemy to cover. Like, that's what our shield is for. It is not just to stand there and be a shield. We're not going to go up, forward, back, left, right, forward, back, left, right. We're not doing super cheat codes or anything like that with our Rhine shield. We're using our Rhine shield to get two places, and it is a resource, and we don't just let them drain it early. That's not something that we need to do. So yeah. And then the third thing that you could work on after you have that is I still would like to see improvement on your fire strikes. Specifically, what we're looking to do for those is we are looking to do those from cover. We're looking to do those from cover. You do some finishes on like the Reaper that are okay using your fire strike to finish people off. A-okay, that's going to be worth it in most situations, but using fire strikes when you're up against someone and no one else is looking at you, like on third point when you did the fire strike against the Reinhardt, wasn't to finish him off, but you knew no one else could see you, or if anyone could see you, they could see your back, and you weren't going to shield your back anyway, so that fire strike had no cost. But in general, there's too many fire strikes where, hey, you're fire striking, that's going to do 100 damage, yay. Maybe it'll do more than that because it'll pierce, but it's very easy for you to take significantly more damage than that when you do a fire strike. It's also easy for you to get pinned, easy for you to get shattered, easy for you to get rocked, easy for you to get all sorts of things, but mostly easy for you to get discorded, purpled, easy for you to take slept, whatever. Easy for you to take more than 100 damage is what will sort of narrow that in on. So our fire strike should mostly be from cover. We're here, we start our fire strike wind up, we peek, we throw the fire strike, we go back bind cover. Also okay to finish people off with fire strikes. Swing into a cancel, hit someone that's retreating with a fire strike that you have a high probability of hitting. Like, those are fine too. Fire strikes through windows, also fine. But you do too many. Oh, this guy's out of range and I'm going to throw a fire strike because I can't do anything else to him. Well, he can do more back to you, and it's not like your fire strike is that hard to dodge if he's looking at you. So please be more conscious of these. This wasn't as big a deal for you as it has certainly been for some people, so I would not work on this first. I would first work on your charge thing. Very easy to change, will get you some benefit. I would then work on, after you've implemented that into your gameplay, really using like 5 to 15% of your brain power to be working on it, not trying to do all three of these things at once. 5 to 15% working on your charges. After each life, think about, wait, am I doing my charges correctly? Then move on to, okay, now that I've got this locked into my autopilot, now let me move on to making sure I'm not doing this Rhine dance stuff, making sure I'm using my corners better, not just giving away shield, and then I'll move on to my fire strikes. And that's the order that I would tackle these in. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps me out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate it. If you have questions, you can throw them up in chat now, or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, events we have going on, all that good stuff. And if you guys are enjoying these live streams and you want to catch me live so that you can ask questions in chat like this, get that feedback, get some of those answers, the best way to do that is in my Discord to get the watchers role. Under get role, you can react with the eyes to get their watcher role, and then you'll get pings immediately on Discord whenever I do go live with these streams. So that can really be helpful if you want to catch these live. I know the bell notification stuff is a little slow to send stuff out when I go live here. Okay, so there's a mega. Less health than a Mei. The Mercy is the junk from the other game. Yeah, yeah. I wonder if these two are a duo. Maybe he'll tell us. That's where your controller went buggy. Okay, got it, got it. uh, Temporal is the master of the Rhine dance. I'm not sure I want that title. I'm not sure I want that title. I might be the master of exterminating the Rhine dance. Temporal also made Ryan's Fire Strike and Shield video. You should watch that sometime. Yeah, the Reinhardt mini guide, which if you go to the channel and video and click on the videos tab, there's a playlist that is mini guides. The Reinhardt video mini guide is a pretty good one for covering a couple of these things. See you, Temporal. No problem, Jason. Good to see you. Number 4 thing should be with Spectre. No, I'm not giving him 4 things. Can't help you on that one, Adam. Uh, This is our whole squad. Thanks for the streams. No problem. No problem. Okay. I think that's going to do it then. And I am not immediately going to launch into another stream. I have a pro player review that I'll probably make a post for, and then we'll go up, and you guys can watch that if you like. But hopefully I can get some more content out there later today after that. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.